Hey y'all, Morgan Kelly here. I wanted to welcome you to our channel and to our very first video. I want to apologize because our intro video would not upload, so you are stuck just looking at some pictures of me. But anyway, regardless, we are working through some kinks. Like I said, it's our very first video, so hopefully we will improve and things will get a lot easier from here on out. But with that being said, if anybody has any suggestions or comments, we are always open to those, so you can leave those below. That would be fabulous. Today we are going to be working on a smoky eye. I got a lot of requests for something that you could use for all hours of the day as far as smoky eyes go. So we're going to work with the Tartelette palette from Tarte. A lot of great matte shades in there, no shimmer whatsoever, and I think that really helps with the daytime smoky eye look. A little bit more conservative looking while still being pretty edgy. So like I said, I hope you enjoy our very first video and we can go ahead and get started. I will be first priming my eyes with my absolute favorite concealer, and this doubles for me as an eye primer and I think it works great. It's going to be the MAC Pro Longwear concealer. I am NW20 and it is winter, so I'm pretty pale right now. I also wear NW20 foundation. But anyway, we're going to spread that all over the lid, up into the brow. I obviously used a little bit too much product, so I pulled it down to my cheekbones, which drove me nuts this entire time, but that's okay. Here is the Tartelette palette. Here's a shot at all the colors. It's nice because everything is set up where if you're a beginner, you can just work from left to right and really build out that smoky eye. We're going to start with a crease defining brush from Bare Minerals with the color Wanderer, and we are just going to buff that all over the lid, really focusing on the crease. This is going to be our transition color, and it's going to really help us blend everything out and look really nice so we don't have any kind of harsh lines. You want to avoid that when you're doing any kind of smoky eye and you're using those dark colors, because that's going to make you look a little bit more put together, and it's just gonna blend really nicely, and it's just going to look 10 times better. I know you've seen those people that have the super harsh lines and everything while they've got a smoky eye, and you're just like, oh girl, come on, blend. Anyway, 90% of my life, blend. The other 20, or the other 10% rather, can't do math, the other 10% picking out what I'm going to wear that day. So then we're going to take just a big fat shadow brush, and we're going to spread Power Player all over the lid, but avoiding that inner crease. This color is so fantastic, and this is basically going to be our basis. We are going to build off of this. I feel like with this palette I really have to put a lot of product on the brush in order for it to be substantial enough, but that's okay, not a big deal. I just keep applying, and plus it's okay because I'm going to be building up with that. Here is another blending brush that I am using. This is from the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette, I believe. And I'm just going to be taking a little bit of Power Player and just blending that all into my crease as well. See, I got annoyed with the concealer on my cheeks. So I'm going to take that blending brush and I'm just going to buff all of that in there. And you can pick up more product if you want to. I have hooded eyelids actually, so I really have to work at defining my crease because my crease gets lost in there. And I also have really puffy upper lids. I don't really know how that happened. I swear I gained weight when I got pregnant and that's where it went. Well, it went many places, but that's just one of them. So see, I'm having to go back in with that big flat shadow brush and just apply a little bit more Power Player to the lid. Just get it however you'd like, whatever depth you'd like it, that's going to work. It's going to be fine because you can always go back and add more. Okay, this is my Precision Crease Defining Brush from Clinique. I'm sorry, it's called an eye contour brush from Clinique. And I am picking up a little bit of Fashionista, which is going to be the black color on the far right of the palette. And I am just going to be patting that into my crease. I'm not really going to pull it a whole lot, even though this brush is amazing and it really doesn't let any color fall. It really stays where you apply it. But since I'm going to be building up, I'm not going to go directly into using that because it really, really puts a lot of pigment there. So I'm going to use that same blending brush from the Urban Decay palette, and I am just going to be buffing all of that buffing the Fashionista into the Power Player, just until I can build it up enough to get the look that I'm going for. I'm not really putting any more product on that blending brush though. I'm just working with what I've got right now. I can always pick up more color and apply it if I need to. As you can see, I am just going to be buffing away and blending away, just adding that color right in there, really working it into my crease. I'm really focusing. If you feel in your eye, you can feel your bone right there where your crease will fall. For me, because I do have hooded eyelids, I have to work harder and apply more product and all that kind of stuff, but that's really where I'm going to focus, is right where that bone is going to start, and I really want to make sure that the color gets to there without going too high onto the brow bone, and that's where our blender brushes are really going to come in handy. So just keep building up your color and build and build and build until you get the depth that you like. And then we're going to go back in with our big fluffy brush with a little bit of the Wanderer on it, and we are going to blend that out and buff it out so we don't have any of those harsh lines that we were talking about. I'm going to leave a little bit of room up there for my highlighter. And then I'm going to fill in my eyebrows in a minute, but I will save that video for another day. Alright, moving on to the eyebrow highlight. I am using some of the Super Mom from the Tartelette palette and a little bit of MYLAR. It's a matte shade. It's really great. It's like a creamy off-white looking color. It's an awesome matte brow bone highlighter. And I think it's just fantastic for what we're doing right now. So I'm going to be using the other end of that Urban Decay shadow brush. And so then I'm going to use the other side, the blending side with no product on it. And I'm just going to kind of blend that into the shadow that I've already applied. Apply your inner corner highlight. And then we can move on from there. We're going to be using, you can use any black liner pencil that you would like. Eye kohls work really, really well for this because we're going to be smudging it out. I just didn't have one on hand, so I'm going to be using my NYX liner pencil. And then I'm going to be taking that same smudging brush from e.l.f. that I love, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of Fashionista, and I'm going to blend it out. This is where it gets really, really fun, and you don't have to be so precise because you're going to be blending out that that eyeliner, so it's really, really easy to do. Anybody can do this. You're not going to mess up because you're doing a smoky eye, so in that smudged smoky look is what you're going for. So really anybody can accomplish this look, and you can always take that shadow and bring it up into the crease if you want, and really focus on that outer corner, and it's just going to add a punch of color there, and it just looks 10 times better. I just love it. I feel like I went from one level all the way to another level just by blending out this eyeliner and really smoking it out. I love it. So now I'm moving on, and I am going to apply some foundation to my face. I was going to leave this part out, but then I was like, you know what, a lot of people really don't know that if you are using a dark shadow, it really works best to do your eyeshadow beforehand. So any kind of fallout or anything that you may have from the shadow, you can definitely take it away without messing up any makeup that you've already done. So I just applied that with a stippling brush, and I am going over it with my damp beauty blender. I just love how this looks. It picks up any excess product and things like that. So, and I'll list all my products below that I use just in case you're curious, even though today's focus is not really on the face. So now I'm applying my concealer, and I'm not doing any kind of a crazy contour or anything today, or like a highlight contour. So we are going to just buff that out with our damp beauty blender. Notice I am not spreading it by smearing the product all around my face. I am dabbing that beauty blender. It takes a minute, but it is so worth it because then my product stays exactly where I wanted it to. So then I'm going to take a little bit of some sort of a setting powder, and I'm going to apply that to my eyes right after this. Just any setting powder that you'd like with a fluffy brush. I'm using just the other end of one of my Bare Minerals brushes. I use this brush all the time for setting my under eyes. And just press it really lightly. Do not rub. Once again, we don't want to move that product around. And even though it kind of looks like I'm pushing really harsh, like really hard, I'm not at all, I promise. My eyes are too sensitive for that. So now I'm going to be using this flat eyeliner defining pencil, I'm sorry, not pencil, brush from e.l.f. And I am going to be applying Wanderer to that lower lash line on both eyes. And then I'm going to go back with that same brush and just pick up a little bit of the Fashionista, once again working from light to dark. And then my camera is going to run out before I get to do this, but I do take my e.l.f. definer brush and I buff all of that out. You want that smoky look, not a harsh look that you would get from like gel eyeliner, so you really want to buff that out as well. Here is the final look. I did not put on any false lashes today. I am just using the MAC Toledo Vinyl Mascara. It's got an awesome little brush. And then I finished my face off. Like I said, I will list all of those products below. I went with a little bit more of a kind of a dewy look with a nice shimmery highlighter. So I hope that y'all like what you saw and that you learned a lot, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.